exterior aspect of science, but there's totally another dimension, this interior dimension. And on the one end, we could say that we're all born with some existential questions. We could say that science is also dealing with the existential of life, where society is more relational. But we're all born with some existential questions that we carry within. Who am I? What I'm here for? Why I'm here? And where I'm headed? And these questions need answers. We all spend our life somehow, one way or the other, trying to find the meaning in these answers. And I would say that wisdom is that capacity we have to find answers to those questions. So, unless science is capable of extending and expanding so as to include more interior dimensions of the spirit animates those questions, will not serve much, because it would be like a body without a head, without a heart. And so it would be very much harming society at large. And I'll pause here.
Just now, Dr. Thomas told us that AI should not master humanity. But AI advocates say that AI would assume autonomy and the power of decision making. So that means not simply an extension of human intelligence, but an entirely different form of intelligence, which can grow human intelligence. What was the beginning is the product of human intelligence. So that's how many people are afraid of AI. Decision making goes to AI, and therefore will be useful. Again, he said, balancing innovation with the wisdom, with responsibility. Of course, that's a very wise way of approaching things. This morning, in a private conversation with Sabishki, he was telling me about humility and humanity. They come from the same root, humus, which is earth. So we are earthbound, we are earthly in a way. So that is where society is. The ordinary people who work with the soil, the farmers, who produce food, So humility, humanity, and technology, they are all related to earth. They are earthbound in a way. But these astronauts outside the biosphere, but they're training. What is their training? They want to return to Earth. I don't say expressly. And right here, each some fresh apple science. I spoke to a scientist from NASA. I asked him about the food which you give the astronauts. And he said that, but finally he said they crave for fresh vegetables and apples. So that is why they try to grow vegetables now in outer space, in international space stations. So this boundless of humanity is very important. We can learn. So my old mentor, Dr. Paulus Martino, used to speak about mastery and mystery. Science and technology is about mastering reality or the field of reality. But there is this profound dimension of mystery. This morning somebody spoke about the quantum reality, which hints at this unknowable dimension of reality that's out there. So I think one of us agree that balancing innovation, responsibility, humility, humanity, and technology, and mastery and mystery, in a way complementary.
One more point before I give you. In addition to wisdom, we also need art. Science cannot make you happy. In order to be happy, you need to sing. You need to write poetry. You need to paint pictures. You need to garden. You need to have a good family. So art is as essential as science. At the moment, artists don't study science, and scientists don't practice art. This separation is, in my view, really unhappiness and discontentment in the world. I live in Europe, very rich, America, very rich, but people are not happy. What's the point of happiness? What's the point of all the airports and motorways, trains, AI, and all the technology, computers, and everything, but no happiness? What will make you happy? I think arts. So I would say science, at the moment our universities teach science. We spend billions and billions and billions on teaching science. But we don't spend money on wisdom, just making wisdom, or just making arts. So how do you ensure the science is kept in harmony and balance with wisdom and arts?
Yeah, one way of solving this problem is the scientists, technologists, social scientists, experts in arts, you all work together. See, all research projects, they should not be interdisciplinary manner. Then this will also be together. Artists also can make use of science in a big way. My colleague, he's a great artist, but he makes use of technology in a big way. So my point is, scientists, technologists, social scientists, artists, we all should work together in major scientific fields. Then these issues could be possible. That is why if you look at major project of NASA, major project of European Union, I participated in important European Union, something like Europe, where we are artists. How this technology can be utilized for societal purpose? Where is the project we have real social science experts and great chemists, physicists, technologists we don't work together. I think this is very important.
There is some space for interest of the audience. You may during the discussion. If anybody wants to.
Thank you. I think no need of saying myself to what I did. Let me focus on my question. Sapusa covered on the white parts of the science and how this transforming society. It is undeniable. You cannot deny science is transforming society. We are here because of science. This is science. We are gathering from different world, from Africa, Asia, Europe, maybe I have doubted, from USA or like that. So, no denying. But what I want to focus on the black side, the black part of the science on the society. I want to raise 3 points. The first point is social media. It is a proof of science. Now it is common to see you or someone staring on the screen of his smartphone on the way from job to home or from home to job, either on the work, on the walk, or in the bus. And it is really a problem on family, with one wife and husband, with your children, it's being their problem. This is also a fruit of science on society. The second one is, I think, Dr. Sadiq Kumar is that they told us, if I'm not mistaken, in the Europe, currently, teaching is outdated, if I'm not mistaken. This is a result of science, because everything is being replaced right? Robots. This is also another dark side. The second one is currently we are in the age of competition, nuclear competition. You can see our country, India, against Pakistan, China, USA, Russia. If you see all these things, the future, what we are talking sustainability, is going to be under question. So, from your point of view as a researcher, how do you reply to this point? What will be our future solution for these problems? Thank you.
Okay. The future solution is changing our educational system. At the moment, our educational system is very narrow. And all the three proper points you have made, they are all related to education. We need to make education more holistic, where young people are taught science, wisdom, arts together. When from childhood, school age, college age, university age, people grow in a more holistic way with wisdom and peace and humanity and nature and love of nature, love of people, cultivated in our education, then all the 3 points you have made can be addressed. But changing our minds later when we are adults will be great. We have to start early. At the moment, all our young people are very good with smartphones and smart computers, but they are not so good about gardening, cooking, or relating peace or wisdom, because we are not educated. All our billions and billions of rupees and dollars and pounds and money is spent on just a narrow education. Just a kind of technological education, scientific education, or a very jobs education. I think fundamental change we need is education. And our education, this is why Mahatma Gandhi talked about Nahi. Our education has to be education of arts, education of living, how to live good life. That we are not educated. Educated for jobs, not for life. This is a big challenge for me. So I think if we really want change in the future, I think we have to start with education.
Yes, and what I love about the word education that goes back to the Latin ex educare, which ultimately means cultivate. So ultimately, education aim is to cultivate something inside. You may receive stimuli from your side, but ultimately is to gain confidence so you can connect to something deeper and find the inner knowing.